this video, let's learn about some advanced customization on the InfoPath. So as usually when we add a new item now, I want to have some confirmation on the submission. As of now, if you just fill the data now, just simply getting submitted to the list. But whenever we click on this button, where we want to get one more view, says that do you want to confirm the data, and shows all our data which is already filled here. And when we click on submit there in that view, then it should submit. So that we want to have it now. So let's look at that particular point, how we can do that. So when we don't have this, we want to customize this first. So just take a list, and from here also we can customize the form. Just click on customize form. It directly take you to the InfoPath designer. So you can just have a look at it. It's just trying to download the template.xsn. So this happens when we publish the form actually. So it's trying to download the same file which is saved already in our list. Yeah. So now first, before we do this modification of confirmation, I just want to show you a kind of a validation. Just take an email here. When we do this, we can't put an directly an email validation rule in the user interface. So I'll take an email as a text box. I'll just show you how to put this email validations. So it's an email. So now we have to add a rule. As usually, let's go to manage rules, and we can actually take a new validation rule. But instead of this framing this rule like this, we got a built-in rule for an email. You can just have a look at it. When you click on add rule, it says clearly, is it an email address? It's not an email address. It begins with, it contains of all. It's not equals to, it's blank. And let's take it on. Is it not an email address? Then what I have to do? I have to show an validation error. We can show the two different types of errors. Either we can show it as a screen tip, or we can show it as a dialog box also. Let's put both the things and customize it. It's not an valid email address. I'll say that enter a valid email address in the dialog box. Yeah, and you can just have a look at this condition. Email doesn't matches to the pattern. There is a built-in pattern called as an email. We can see the rest of the patterns like zip code, phone number, URL, or anything. And doesn't matches or matches, which is equals to, is a rule again, which we've seen already in the previous example, that is in the course type. And even if the email is blank, I want to trigger the same thing. Let's put email validation is my rule name. That's it. We don't have an option to save rule, just fill out the information, that's it. And yeah, let's have a preview of this. Let's come to the point. Rahul. I'll just fill the Rahul, that's it. And you can see that there is a dash line indicates that it's not a valid email address. Let's fill the information. Rahul at google.com. This is a valid email address, where even if you miss something, it says that once again it's not a valid. So what I want to do it now is, whenever user enters something like google.com or yahoo.com like this, I don't want to support those email IDs. I want it's an official email ID to be get entered, or it should be an organization email ID. So I have to exclude Google and Yahoo. So how we do that? Let's do it. So we have to frame one more rule. The rule name is once again validation, and if it contains, show an validation error once again. Let's put up what it contains. if it contains Google, say okay. If it contains a Google, I'll take one more condition here. Let's leave this blank, and let's say or if it contains Yahoo. So if it contains Google or if it contains Yahoo, then automatically this will cannot contain Google or Yahoo. That's what I want to show. That's on screen tip. You can customize the screen tip. Okay. Just see the preview now. These are the validation rules which I'm following. Once again, Rahul at google.com. And see that it's not acceptable now because it contains Google. Let's furnish it with Yahoo. Yeah, this is not also acceptable. Even you can see this. It's not acceptable. Instead of Yahoo, let's give it as Ymail. This is acceptable because with this condition we don't have anything mentioned in the validation, so it's acceptable now. So we have to identify all the possible conditions and then we have to ignore it. That's how we can validate the emails. So I want you to just play around with all the rules which are mentioned here, where you can create numerous examples out of it. Let's now work with the views. As I said before, we want to have some customization on confirmation. Like whenever I click on it, I should say it should be confirmed. So first, let's change this button. This button should not be a submit button. So let's go to the button properties, and now we want this button should run some rules. Right? Let's say this button text is confirmed. Apply. Okay. Now when I click on this button, it should take me to the confirmation view. So this is a one view. I'll take a one more view called as a confirmation view. Let's see how we can do that. Just go to the page design, and I can see that the default view name is edit item view. This is what the current view name. The InfoPath, rather calling as a form, we call them as a view. View or form, both are equal. Now let's take a new view. The view name is called as a confirmation. Just click on it. Okay. And just design it. Just want to say, are you sure to submit data? And here I want to have my button. I'll just go to my home, and now I'll take a button here. This button is a submit button. That's fine. Let it be submit. And now here I just want to see the information which is there in my columns. So first let's put an table here, and we can just drag and drop the data, columns into the tables, into the proper rows. Let's take one title, paste the student name, as courses, course type, email address. So if I feel that if I want to edit it once again, okay, I want to go back. Actually what I want to do is, in this particular view I don't want anything to be get edited. Okay, I just want to lock all the controls. So one thing I can do is, I can just right click on the control and go to the control box property, text box properties, and make them as a read only here. This is one way of doing. But second way of doing is, anyhow I want the complete view to be get read only. So rather doing it for every control, I suggest you to go to the page design. First select your view and go back to your view properties, and here you can make your complete view as read only. You can set some background colors for your view. Alright. let's get published of this. Take a quick publishing. Let's see whether it will navigate or not, because we haven't mentioned any rule on this confirm button in the first view. Let's see how it works. Just go back to the site, refresh it, add a new item, and there is our form. So the moment when I click on confirm here, nothing is happening because we haven't specified any condition on the confirm. So now let's specify the condition. Go back to the InfoPath, change your view to the edit item view, which is the default view. In case if you are interested in the page designs, just mention your page designs. So here we got numerous page designs. It says, do you want to apply it? Things can be undone. Yeah, that's fine. You can just have a good page design out here. Alright, now select the button here, and now we have to frame a rule on this button, that is action rule. The rule will be let it be confirmed. The action is switch views. I want to switch the edit item view to destination is confirmation. That's it. And at the moment when I click on confirm here, data is taken back to the confirmation view, and here you will see the data. And if I feel that if I want to edit the data here, I want to place one more button at the bottom, and this button I'll say them as, let's say this button let it be once again running the rules. Change data. This is a button which is having change data. So same as usually, we have to switch from the confirmation view to edit item view. So select the button, take a new action. Once again, the action is switching the views, and here the view should switch back to the edit item where I can edit the data. Just do not forget to give the rule name. That's it. Let's publish it again. Once it is published, we can have a look at our website. Click on OK. Back to the website. Let's refresh it. Take a new item. Courses and statement 1 SPF stop confirm. So the moment when I click on confirm here, the complete data of Mahesh is taken here, and you can see that nowhere I have an option to edit. Though if I try to edit, it's got completely locked. Nowhere, nothing can be edited here. See that nothing is edited. But the moment when I click on feel this data should be submitted, then I click on submit. But if you feel that if you want to change the data, you can just click on change data, so that you will come back to the previous view. Once again, you can change anything that you want, right? So I'll change it. Click on confirm now. Once again, you are taken back to the confirmation view. Now if you want to submit, just a submit data, and your data is submitted. Great. So this is how we can make some customizations in the views. Not only this, we can even have an customization on the same view onto the web part also. This will learn in the next video. That's all in this video. Thank you.